talking today about a few different things. Actually, we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to have a couple of testimonials as well. But Sherranda Ivey's going to get us started with the new group incentive. I know a lot of you all aren't familiar with that group incentive that's happening right now. It is posted on the Facebook page, so you can go there and take a look at it. But we will be pulling it up on screen and having a conversation about that, as well as a couple of testimonials. And we're also going to be talking about some increases in fines for OSS. And John Hoffman, the trainer out of California, is going to be talking about that as well. So make sure you got some pen. Make sure you got a pen and some paper, so you can take some notes. You know what we call in LegalShield copious notes. Make sure that you can do that. Make sure that you're plugged in and are ready to get this information, even on the testimonials, guys. So remember, the testimonials are a chance to learn from some things that's happening. So you're going to hear about Lamar doing 100% enrollment this past week and some other things. So just be prepared to take some notes. And if we have some time after, we will answer questions, and we'll try to answer some in the chat as well as we move forward throughout the session. Oh, one more thing before we start introductions. So March 22nd, guys, so put this on your calendar. You guys will start seeing a flyer from this date forward. March 22nd from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's a Monday. You know, we always do our take that same Monday and do our annual prospecting trucking companies using safety scores. So we're going to have Randy Hooker training on trucker. I think it's truckdriver.com. Randy is going to be training on truckdriver.com. He's going to open up with truckdriver.com, and then Mr. Lamar Reynolds is going to take over from there, talking about SAFER, and once you get to SAFER, how to identify the different citations, violations, how to look at the 7 deadly sins, how to use that information with the safety manager, and then he's going to pass it over to Catherine, who's going to talk about things from a safety manager's point of view, so you'll know what to say to a safety manager, because that's the part she plays in companies, third party. And then, of course, Sherranda Ivey's going to be chipping in. Hopefully, if John Hoffman can make it, because I know sometimes he's on a roll, he'll be able to chip in as well. I'll be able to chip in. So it'll be about 5 or 6 of us talking and training on that 2-hour special training that we do. So it's going to be March 22nd, Monday, March 22nd from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We will be recording it as well. So if for any reason you can't make the whole thing, I know that Darnell Self does a live at 9:30. So if you need to jump off at 9:30, get on that live, or if you're on something at 8 and you can't get on that until 8:30, until 8:30, that's totally fine. The whole 2 hours will be recorded. It'll be on the YouTube channel, so you can get it there if you miss anything. But just keep it marked on your calendar. March 22nd, Monday, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time, and you will see some advertising going out about that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Sherranda Ivey so she can start with introductions. Then we'll get through our introductions, and then we'll get opened up on our group incentives, and Sherranda will be handling that as well. So thanks everybody for joining us. Sherranda, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Dunbar. This is Sherranda Ivey out of Georgia. Been a part of LegalShield for now. June will be my 8th year with the company. We're full-time in the business, working LegalShield, special forces on the small biz side, Business Solutions Sapphire Associate, has written over 1,000 personal apps, received that award last year, and also named 2019 Ladies of Justice Field Trainer of the Year. And so just love to come to this call. I actually host the accountability call on Thursday nights, more of a mastermind call where the associates have been plugging in now for about a year. And they are really seeing some great activity in that group. So for those that want to be accountable, you can come and join us there on Thursday night. But we look for you to show up because it is accountability. And so we encourage you to just show up and be accountable. Those individuals are definitely helping each other, helping me as well as we learn to continue to sharpen our axe after we get our coaching from here. So, so that's my story. If I can help anyone, whether you're in Georgia or anywhere, just reach out to me. Um, we all are on the list in the resource guide. So we'll talk about incentives here shortly. So I pass the call over to Randy. You want to go next?
Sure.
Randy Hooker out of
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of San Angelo, Texas. That's right in the middle of Texas. I always tell everybody I'm about 200, 225 miles from any place because any major city is about 225, 230 miles in any direction. And then, of course, the El Paso area is 450 miles. So that's even in a different time zone. They have their own time zone out there. So we've been part of LegalShield for about 12 years. Worked the business full time after about 2 years. We are now on an as-earned basis. Took on CDL even more strongly than what we had been in December of 18 and went hard at it in September of January 19, 2019. And we run about 11 months and earned the $50,000 ring. We had some associates working with us, and then COVID hit, of course, and so therefore we had to back off a little bit, but we're getting back out and being after it. I am a field trainer for the CDL and employee benefits. Also have written a little over 1,500. We're actually closing in on the 2,000 personal app award. And so get up every day and try to work with transportation companies. And if I can ever help anybody, don't hesitate to call. Really enjoy this space. Have learned a lot from one of my mentors, Mr. Lamar Reynolds. So I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you, Mr. Randy. Mr. Randy Hooker is someone I'm very proud of, and Sherranda. I've watched these two just come on and blossom right there in front of us. And each of you can do the same thing by staying plugged in on Monday night. So I'm Lamar Reynolds out of Houston, Texas. And I've been with LegalShield almost 15 years now. And I've been selling the CDLP membership for about 11 and a half years. I've been a CDLP trainer about 10 and a half years. So I just get up each day and sell transportation. I sell to individual drivers, and I love to sell groups. And I've opened over 100 transportation groups. And when I was just starting out, and really hungry, I was opening sometime one a week and 2 and 3, maybe 4 a month. And it's really exciting when you get those referrals from the company you just opened, and you ask for a referral and they send you down the street to another trucking company, and you're able to open it just because they send them down there. So it's really exciting. I've been able to sell over 5,000 personal memberships, and most all of those are CDLP. Now, some of those are legal. In the last 2 years, I've been doing bundle selling between CDLP and legal, and it's just a lot of fun. I'm going to give a little testimony on that a little bit later on. I did accomplish the 5,000 personal memberships this past year, part of the Special Forces and part of the Solution Emerald Elite. And so it's just a great honor to be on this call and to share nuggets with everybody that's on the call. We got a great presentation before you this evening, and we got some great plans for next week. You do not want to miss next week. And I'll turn it back over to Mr. John Hoffman.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm glad I can be on this call again. I'm 2 weeks in a row, so I'm making a little bit of a string here. So behind me, you can see a posting of the gas prices in California. I know Barbara's from California too. She knows it's approaching $4 a gallon out here. Truckers, that's their lifeblood is diesel. So that we have a lot to protect them for, because they don't have a lot of profit. And I've been in the LegalShield business. This is my 14th year. First half of it was part-time because I was in the truck tire business before that for 25 years. And so I had a lot in common with truck drivers. I knew when they couldn't pay their bill because they had tickets and infractions. I know the most expensive ticket I've ever seen was $24,000 for overweight. And that guy couldn't pay for his tires, of course. So that's what just steered me to LegalShield. I saw the CDLP part of it and I said, that's what I need to do. I need to bring something that I can offer my customers in the tire business, something that's going to help them and protect them. And so now my tire business is going by the wayside. Full-time 100% LegalShield now, focusing on CDLP. I managed to hold 3 classes before the pandemic hit. So I'm looking forward to going open classes again, hopefully pretty soon. And that's it. I'm going to talk a little bit later about out-of-service rates that companies are incurring. And I'll turn it back over to Robert now. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Well, thanks all the trainers for being on and working with us here. My name is Robert Dunbar. I've been with the company for, I think, 11 years now. I think maybe it's 11 years now I've been with the company. I've been a trainer for 6 years. I've been a CDLP trainer for going on 3 years. I really love training 100K ringer. I have 2 50K ringers on my team. I've got Golden Apple Awards and all of the other good stuff and Field Trainer Awards and all that great stuff for helping people and working with people and helping them build the business. So that's what it's about. It's about really helping people. That's what this company is about, helping people. So that's what we're here for. We always explain to everybody that being certified is just being certified. Being qualified is something different. We would ask you sincerely to really plug into this training. Please go to the YouTube channel and take a look at the videos that we've already done. Since September 7th, we've been doing these Zoom videos. Before September 7th, we were actually doing calls, and you can go to the announcement section of the Facebook page, and you can take a look at all of the calls that are that we recorded and put there. They're still there. And then from September 7th up until tonight, everything has been Zoom, and you can go to the YouTube channel and you can see all of those Zooms. Please take a look at the Zooms. I know it's a lot of information, guys, but when you're calling trainers to get assistance and you haven't looked at any of the material that we've done, it makes it really hard for us to help you when you don't know anything about CDLP. So it's not really a good idea to take the certification and then just call trainers. You need to get some information because you need to get the language. You need to understand the script that Lamar Reynolds has put together. That's on the Facebook page. So if you look at some material and you want us to help you because you don't understand everything you looked at, that's kind of what we're here for in the field train, of course. But you got to get the language. You got to put a little bit of work in it. Just that 5-hour certification class is not enough. So make sure you're taking a look at the other information so you really understand this industry before you go out and start talking about how to sell this plan, how it's going to help for companies. And you will hear through the testimonials and other people that you ask that that's exactly how it's worked for them. It does take a little bit of homework, a little bit of time, a little bit of a process before you go out and start speaking to people. When you go to that YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, please, guys. It really helps us. It helps us get the videos out to more people. YouTube will push it out to more people. If people are liking the videos and subscribing to the channel when you take a look at it. So you watch a video, hit the thumbs up, unless you didn't like it. If you don't like it, don't hit the thumbs up. But if you like it, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that we get some leverage and some views and things like that on that channel. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Sherranda Ivey. And Sherranda, I'll be pulling up the PDF for you to utilize. And for people who are looking for the PDF, you can go into resources, and Sherranda will probably mention that where to find it on LS Engage, but it's also on the Facebook page. And I think we clicked it as an announcement, so it should be right up front with the videos that Alan dropped there as well. So Sherranda Ivey, the floor is yours.
All righty. You gonna put it up for me?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now for you.
Okay. All right, guys. Just wanted to share with you about the new group incentive, which is phenomenal. Don't get it twisted. It might be a little slang, but that's who I am. Don't get it twisted, because we have another new group opening incentive as well. So this incentive that we have up on the screen here should bless a whole lot of people, guys. It really should. Just think about all the times that you prospected to a company or owner operator that had maybe 1 or 2 drivers, and maybe one person wanted a plan. Just think about that. Well, now you can open a group from March 1st to April 30th. And you have to actually May 15th to, get all the premium on to qualify for this incentive. So this group here, this incentive here for new groups, you only have to have $50 worth of premium, unlike any of the other incentives for group, which is $100. So this one, you only have to have $50 worth of premium, and it says 2 unique members, but you have to know that CDLP is a different plan than legal. So it counts for legal, and then you have, so if you have a trucker, you can get a CDLP plan and you can get a legal plan, right? And on the group side, that comes up to $50 and some change, one person. And so how you calculate this is, so say you open 2 groups and both of them had $50 worth of premium. That's $100 worth of premium. So you multiply the premium times the number of groups you open. So 100. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So $100 worth of premium times 2, which is the number of groups you open, equals 200. So you'll get that $100 bonus. So the amount of premium multiplied by the number of groups that you open would give you that, give you the points. So they have a point system, and however many points you have falls within the category, and that's how much your bonus would be. And it's, I don't say that it's ugly, but this is easy, guys, and this will help. So what this would do for you is you have until August 30th to open as many groups as possible. You can open groups up to April 30th. Not August. If I say August, I'm sorry. April 30th. And then you have to the 15th to get those groups qualified. Okay? And so those groups then will pay out as an commission adjustment. So it will be in your commission as an incentive. So like any other incentives you get, like like Fast Start or whatever, those type bonuses. So you have this bonus, which I think is just phenomenal. And I'll say this, in group, in CDL, like Lamar's going to talk about later, referrals are everything here, guys. If you sold one CDLP plan, you can go back to that person and ask them, who do you know? And just this week alone, I've opened 2 groups. This month alone, I've opened 3. So you can, this is even with the $100, it's easy, but this is simple. And I say that because I know everybody's talked to somebody that owns a trucking company. You could sell a small business plan, that will equal up, of course it has to be $50 worth of premium. So you do the math there, you figure it out. If you sell a small business plan, legal plan, anything $50 or over will qualify you for this group. So just take advantage of all the incentives we have on the table. This one runs from March 1st to April 30th. We do have another one, guys, that runs to the end of this month, and you have to have $100 worth of premium for that group. And that incentive is for the top 5 for Cabo. So if someone's on the call and you do most of your business is group, business solutions, I'll say, you can qualify to get on that board for solutions for the Cabo trip. The top 5 will go with new groups open, and top 5 will go with small biz. and you can do that here in this space. If you never open a group, just think about that too. Just put your mind to it and open multiple groups, and it'll equal up to that $250 or $500 that you can get on a new group. So go into the resources under business solutions incentives and look at all the incentives that are out there for this space. So with that, Barbara, you can stop sharing the screen for now. Oh, I will say that corporate is encouraging people, if you can, to get on the blitz. I've tried, I think I put the reminder in there, but corporate, just, that's just another tool that you can use to call your prospects. If you can get on the blitz on Tuesdays to call your prospects to give you more opportunity to open these groups. So with that, Robert Dunbar, that sounds funny. Dunbar, I turn it back over to you. You can stop sharing.
Okay, I'm trying to, I got so many screens here, I don't know what's going on. I'm telling you, man. Complicated. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Appreciate you giving us that information. Let me go ahead and open up my camera. All right, you can see me? We good? Is everything good? You seeing regular people on the more screens?
I am.
All right, good stuff. So real quickly, I am going to turn it over to who I want to bring it on next. I think Lamar Reynolds.
AJ's not on tonight. He wasn't.
He's not on?
I don't think so. I know he was working, so I don't see him on.
Okay, we'll keep looking for him. And Lamar, you can go ahead, then I'll get this stuff put up when I bring Mr. Hoffman back up, I'll have something for him too as well. Okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you, Mr. Lamar.
All right, thank you.
Got it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to talk about a little success that I had this past week. Randy Hooker and I kind of have a little accountability call back and forth. I do a little presentation, and I'll call him or he calls me, and we kind of hold each other accountable. But anyway, I walked into one of my groups, and they had 5 drivers there. And as I did my presentation, and I'm gonna kind of walk you through the pieces of it, but I was able, out of the 5 drivers that were sitting there, I walked out of there, ladies and gentlemen, with 10 memberships, 5 CDLP and 5 legal. And it made me feel really good, Mr. Anthony Norris. I saw you clapping. It made me feel really good as I walked out of there. I kind of, floated out the front door. And, but as I'm selling, I like to look at the 5 guys, and I'm going to pick out, and I challenge myself every time I do a presentation to pick out one of the 5 guys that I know that's going to buy the membership. And I can start to sense the interest in a person as I'm going through my presentation. And so when I finish, I will walk up to this person and I'll say, now you wanted both memberships, didn't you? And he'll, 9 times out of 10, that person will say yes. So I'm wanting to go to that person that's going to say, yes, I want those 2 memberships. Well, guess what? The other 4 guys, they're looking at that. And then I'm going to the next person. I may bypass 2 guys sitting there. This guy on the front, I just asked a question. I may go to the back of the room and ask the second guy, now, did you want the 2 memberships as well? And I have the membership kits, and I'm laying them out on the table, and he'll say, yes, I do, Mr. Reynolds, because he's already pulled the application out, and he is starting to write on the application. Okay, that's a dead giveaway. So I'll go around the room. Now, the least one that I feel is interested, I'll go to them last. And so the momentum starts to build, and then you end up with all 5 people buying. So I'll start off my presentation like I'm here to talk to you about protecting your CDL, which is the most important thing you have. And you need to do everything you can to protect your CDL. And that's just what my program does, that I hand it out to you by taking the D.O.T. tickets and moving violations and fighting that in court. Now, those guys, their eyes will go from the table up to you. Now you have the attention. Then step 2, if you're making notes, step 2, I go to my transportation clipboard. Okay. And I will pick out an article or something that shows how aggressive the DOT is. That's the first step. The second step, I go to the article about the lady who's got her arms crossed, about reversing the CSA points, the good news of our program. I will go through that. And I'll say this federal legislation as of August the 14th, 2013, this is when 2014, that's when this new federal legislation was passed. And man, they're looking right at it. And I go through the bits and pieces of that. When the judge makes a ruling that you're not guilty, dismissed, or reduced to a lesser charge, we now can reverse these points. And then I show an order of dismissal. And then I go through the point calculation sheet. All of that is on the transportation clipboard. Now I have got their attention. Step 3, I now go to my handouts that I just handed out. My business card is on a paper clip, and I pick up my business card first and I'll say, if you ever have a question about a ticket, police officer, or the court, I want you to call me. I can help you with that. Make sure you put that business card in your billfold or your purse. And then I go into the CDLP, I call it the ticket program, and I go through that brochure and the cover sheet I have for that. And then I go through the legal plan, and I give and there's 3 big nuggets in the legal plan. That's trial defense. And I'll give you another little nugget. Okay, you're coming up to a red light. There's a car parked there, already stopped at the red light, and you're trying to stop, and you didn't quite stop in time, and you hit the car in front of you and bent the bumper. Matter of fact, your insurance is going to take care of that. Okay, no big deal. But now it's 6 months later, and this person says, I'm going to sue you because my neck hurts. Well, you better be in our legal program under trial defense. And I've had 3 drivers this past year that happened to. And so I'll go through that. I go through the will, and I go through the traffic piece of the legal plan, because a lot of drivers have got teenagers that's driving. Those are the 3 big nuggets in the legal plan that I point out to the commercial driver. And then I go through the other features of it. And then I go through the LegalShield perks. I said, you can write off these memberships as a business write-off, but now you can offset the cost of it with the LegalShield perks. And I go through the LegalShield perks. I use the cell phone, and I'll ask drivers, how many of you have T-Mobile? How many have I go through all to make sure they understand that you can offset the cost of that membership with your cell phone. And I use the advanced auto parts as the other one. Now, there's a lot of different discounts that you can get in that. And then I take out the application and I go through it. And then that is my close. Because you work here at Genox Corporation, you get this membership at a discounted rate, and I give the price from $32.95 with a $25 enrollment fee down to $29.95. Okay, and then the legal plan, the street price is $24.95. You get that. It was $18.95. I moved that price up to $20.95, and now it's $20.95. And so I go through that, and then I have noticed there's 2 or 3 drivers that's really interested in the program. I can tell by their demeanor. I can tell because they've got eye contact with me. There's another guy, he's looking down and he's not giving me eye contact, okay? Or he's fiddling with his phone or whatever. These other people, they're focused on me, every word I'm saying, and I know their interest is there. I'm going to go to one of those people and I say, no, you wanted both programs, didn't you? And that person says, yes, I do, Mr. Reynolds. And I lay those membership kits there and I go to the next one. That's the way I like to close, because if you let one negative person say something first, you can ask Mr. Randy. He's had it to happen. I've had it happen more than once. If this one person says something negative or say, let me just take this paperwork home and speak to my wife. Well, guess what? All the rest of the drivers in that meeting will want to do the same thing. So you want to cut all of that. If somebody's going to say something like that, I want them to say it last, not first. And so that's the way I close the business. And there's been many times that I get a membership and it's on everybody sitting there. And there's a lot of times that I get double memberships, and Mr. Randy is an ace at this as well. He gets a lot of double memberships. And so think about it. You can sell 5 people 10 memberships, or you can sell 10 people 1 membership. What had you rather do? Okay. So I like doing the bundle selling. So that is my testimonial. Hopefully you picked up some great nuggets in the way I go about the presentation, because it's really key. Every presentation I make, I try to find a way to critique it, analyze it. Even my script, the decision maker script, it took me a few years to get every word Smith to the point of every word being effective, as you know. So I try to do that in my presentation as well to make it effective. And I learn every time I make a presentation, and you should challenge yourself to do the same thing. So, man, I won't make that mistake again. Okay, you ever done that? I won't make that mistake again. I won't say that again. And I won't tell this story again. That was a bad example. And so you learn from your presentation. And so I just challenge you to do that. Start doing that every time you make a presentation. Mr. Robert, I'll turn it back over to you.
Any of our trainers have anything to add to that before we move on?
Yeah, I want to say that the membership kits are really important for retention. You really want to make the investment and give them something you can put in their hands, and that'll make sure the membership stays in the books.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Also, guys, if you do have, I'll say this much on mine. If I do have somebody that says they want to talk to their wife or whatever, I'll usually say, if you want to, go ahead and fill out the application. And at the top of the application, give me an effective date. If you don't want it effective today, give me an effective date. Now, whenever you do that, you have to let them know that if they put that effective date on there, unless you hear from them, you're going to turn it in on that day. But it seems to get a lot more closure on them because they say, well, I don't get paid for 2 weeks. I want it, but I'm going to get paid for 2 weeks. Give me the application with an effective date. Just write an effective date at the top of it. And it really makes a difference a lot of time in them going ahead and filling out the application. Back to you.
Hey,
all right, good
Robert,
stuff. Go ahead.
What Randy just said, let me just piggyback just a quick second. So in my layered close, as I go around the room and get the people filling out the application, if there's somebody that's pushing back, like Mr. Randy is saying, if you would like to put a future date on the application, please do so. And you can do that with the effective date. If you know you want the membership, but you just don't know when you want to enroll, go ahead and fill it out and don't put a date on it. And it's just been so many groups that I've made presentation, 15 people sitting in the room or 20 people sitting in the room, and I'll get an application on everybody there. Some that I can process immediately, some that I can process next week, some that I can process 2 weeks out, and some a month out. And some I've got hanging here on my desk right now, a few applications that have no dates on them at all. And I've already called those people twice, in a period of a month. And they said, Mr. Reynolds, just give me a couple of more weeks and I'm going to enroll. Well, they usually do, but it's after a month. So those are some great things that Mr. Randy just brought up, but it's very effective. Robert?
All right, good stuff. Any other trainers? Anything before we move on?
No,
All
that
right.
was a good
Oh,
tip.
go ahead, Sherranda.
No, I just say that's a good tip. I remember earlier this year, last year, when I was doing that group that I was going out to do, and me and Randy talked, and I was using the survey at the new hire orientation. I was using that too, and he said, "Why don't you just tell them to go ahead and just fill out the application. You take the application and you put a date on it when they call back." And so that's what I did, and closed out more by doing that. Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Any other trainers? We good? All right, good tips. So we're gonna move into first. We're gonna move back into Mr. John Hoffman, and then after John Hoffman, we're gonna go into Arjun's testimonial after that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to you, Mr. John Hoffman, and I will get that PDF pulled up for you.
Okay, great. Last week, in this meeting, we talked a little bit about out of service and what the harmful effects it has on the transportation company safety rating. So I sent Robert a flat sheet that I found at the FMCS website. I wanted to share with the group. And on there's a statement on there that says that the average cost of an out of service penalty, not including the fines or repair cost of the truck, is over $800 to that transportation company. So it makes you wonder what are those other costs are involved. So I've come across that in my lifetime in LegalShield, where you probably scroll down a little further, Robert. We can't see that part, but the average cost, they might, if they put out a service, they might have to fly a driver out to that location, especially if it's a 48 state company. So you might have a company in California that might have to send a driver on an airplane out to Florida to finish the route because the driver got hit with a fraudulent logbook, or maybe was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Might have just been cough syrup or something like that. So that's an expense that the trucking company is going to incur. There it is on the bottom there. Okay. They also might have to send another truck to take over the truck if the truck's put out of service because maybe a brake problem or a mechanical problem, let alone the cost of a mechanic. But they might have to send another truck out if it's I've seen it happen where it's a overweight situation where they can't move the truck any further because there's too much weight on it. Of course, that's someone's responsibility, but they can't move the truck, so they have to send another truck and a trailer out there to split the load to continue on the transaction, to complete the trip. Then a lot of times you might have to hire a competitor to finish trip for you if it's put out of service. So I've seen that happen a lot of times where they can't move their truck any further, and so they have to hire somebody else to finish trip for them, thereby giving up probably all the proceeds they were making on that trip, where they actually don't make any money on it at all. So out of service does have a pretty much have a detriment effect on the truck transportation company. And you'll see when you pull up the SMS reports, out of service are designated as OOS on that report. And you'll see a lot of companies have a lot of those issues there. Right, one company I came across here in San Diego, they had a contract with JB Hunt. JB Hunt's a large company, and they do not do business with a conditional rated company. So they lost that contract just because they weren't keeping good care of their safety scores. And they effectively put the company out of business. There was over 100 drivers in there, and they went down to 15 drivers taking local loads after that. So we can really help these companies with the help of our legal plan by eliminating those reports on their SMS report. We really can't do nothing much about the cost of the out of service, but we can help them take that off the report to help keep their safety rating at a satisfactory level, which is where they want to have it being. Also, I wanted to mention, probably everybody saw that horrific accident in Imperial Valley last week, where they stuffed like 25 aliens in a Ford Expedition. and killed about, I think 13 people in it and a bunch of more. I have a CHP, a friend of mine, who was telling me that they are now looking at that trucker who was not at fault. Evidently that vehicle with all the people in it went through a stop sign, but now they're looking to see if that truck driver was speeding. So that was only one reason to maybe find out if that was the case, because they want to try and pin something on the transportation company. And they're easy targets out there. So that's why, our membership benefit is so important, because, you know, with the amount of insurance that a trucking company has to have on their rigs versus what we have to have on cars, you know, that's what they want to go after. They want to go after where the money is. But they always, you know, they're going to find, if they want to find a way to see if a trucker might be partially to blame, they don't have to be 100% to blame, but if they're partially to blame, that's going to affect the trucking company quite a bit. So that's what I wanted to share, and I hope Robert will put that on the Facebook page under files, that you can print that off and share with your transportation companies. That sheet that you have on there now, on the backside of it, is something that they would want to put like in a driver room, and it talks about how a driver can get from beginning to end of his trip, you know, the safest way possible. All right, that's pretty much it.
All right, good stuff, brother. I appreciate you. And yes, it is on the page. So if you go to the page, guys, and look, it's also it's under announcements, but it's also right on the page. I just put it there, and it's under file section. I tagged the other trainers on it as well, so you guys can get to it easily because I tagged you guys on it. So that's it. That's it, guys. Good information. Another good flyer for you guys to utilize, a good explanation on how to use it. So now I am looking for Mr. Arjun. If you can unmute yourself, Mr. Arjun, that'd be fantastic.
I don't see him on the call.
Is he on? He wasn't on.
I saw his name pop up. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he fell back off or something.
Arjun?
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Only have
I saw Fernando. That's not
A's.
Fernando.
Yeah, I saw him come in because I saw his name go down on the Dropbox. So I'm not sure what happened when he got on. So okay, if he's not here, we're not gonna worry about it. If he gets in, then we'll jump in.
Did you
go
share
ahead,
about did you share about Alan's video? That was some good information.
No, but since you brought it up, you can.
I mean, I forgot what I already said, but that was some good information. I just thought it was a good video. I saw it earlier last week when he posted it, I guess, when I reposted it.
Well, that video that you're talking about, I tagged that in the announcements. So it is at the top of the page. So if you guys haven't seen the Alan Roman video, if you go to the Facebook page, it's pinned to the top. So you'll see it when you scroll down. It's like 3 or 4 things pinned right up there. So you'll be able to grab it and take a look at it there as well. So another person I was going to reach out to was Barbara Smith, because she had some success that she posted on the page as well. So let me see if Barbara Smith is available. If you're available, Barbara, if you can unmute yourself, if you're willing to give your testimonial.
Hello, everyone, my CDL family. I just wanted to say I got a chance. I'm in California, Southern Cal. I got a chance to go walk the community. And I don't know whether many of you know, about a year or so ago, I just loved walking the community. And what happened when we did go into the pandemic, I was a little lost per se, but I spoke with Ms. Sherranda. I love the Monday night calls and webinar, and I just went for it. Miss Ivey told me, Barbara, you got to do it. So I did it. But anyway, I went out and I had a great time. I'm gonna post a little video. I go where this train track is, and there's nothing but trucking companies. So I just get out of my car and just walk in and ask to speak to the safety managers. So I got a chance. These were some follow-ups that I did. So I'm looking to give you all some very, very good information, hopefully very soon. But I want to say thank every one of you for all of your expertise. Thank you, Ms. Sherranda, for the Thursday accountability. Thank all of my mentors, my trainers for the Monday. And I just want to leave with everyone, even if you haven't opened a group, just stay on the Monday night webinars, get on the accountability calls, and most of all, go to the file section pull off those flyers, because that's what helped me so, so much. If you don't know what to say, they've already given us everything. Just do what they tell you to do and it'll work. So I thank you for letting me say my little spiel.
All right, good stuff. No, congratulations on that. And I love seeing that. I love seeing individuals who get on these calls in the beginning, because we started these like 3 years ago. And we'll see people get on and they're like terrified. They're like, look, I'm not walking in no trucking company. I don't know how to. It's just every frozen mode that you can be in about going into a company. There's every excuse not to go in there because you're just not comfortable. And then you get really comfortable and you go out and you do it and you see that it works and that script works. It's like, it's really just a 1, 2, 3 thing, meaning that if you actually read Lamar's script and go in to use it, I don't know how many testimonials we've had on this call or Zoom where people have literally said, I literally called or went in and used Lamar script and it got me in the front door. Even the next testimonial, Arjun, I mean, he's working on a company. I can't even remember at this point how many people, how many employees or drivers are in that company. I mean, but goodness gracious, he used the script. And he used everything he learned from this call. And this is a free call. It's a free Zoom. And it's just like, hey, look, it's here every Monday. If you miss it, it's recorded. Take the information, go out and build a significant business. And I just thank you for not only giving us a testimony, but saying that you got the information from the trainers, you used it and it actually worked. So congratulations on everything, and continue to let us know what's going on with you so we can continue to have you on the call to give testimonials. Appreciate you.
Arjun is on now.
Gotcha, Ms. Sharon. Now, real quick before we bring Arjun on, do any of our trainers want to add anything to what Barbara said? Just like to mention anything before we bring Arjun on? Anybody? Going once?
I do.
Going twice? We're gonna go to Cynthia, then we're gonna go to, then we'll bring up Arjun.
I was just typing, preparing to send you a message, Robert. I have began doing calls to the trucking corporations, and I have 2 appointments. One postponed it to Thursday. He asked me to call back Thursday because he had an overly busy weekend and his Monday was cup running over. And what I'm finding is, and I think if I was probably going to maybe the accountability meetings to learn more, I'm finding that the truck drivers are moving extremely fast. I mean, they're moving so fast they don't even want to hear the good news. They don't want to. They don't want to hear what will help them. And so I'm finding myself emailing to maybe the CEO and also the owners. Any suggestions with that? But I do have 2 appointments, and I think one is foot in and ready to go. Any suggestions? But I would like to make it to the accountability meetings.
So trainers, any suggestions there before we go to Arjun?
I think she need to get with a field trainer.
Alan Roman is my field trainer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you got a field trainer. So what I would tell you as far as like, if you call it on trucking companies, whatever the case may be, because what I don't want to do is step on whatever training that Alan has for you. I don't want to do that. So whatever Alan Roman is telling you to do for that, I would do whatever he's saying, because I may have a different approach to Alan. You follow what I'm saying? So I just don't want to give you advice when he's field training you on how to handle that, especially when you already calling and working with him. So I try to stay away from that. Any other trainers want to mention anything? Going once? Going twice? All right. So, and Cynthia, if you want to email me or call me offline, you can, about whatever you got going on. But on this call right now, I don't think anybody has any advice on that, just because you're working with a field trainer. We all feel the same way. We don't ever like to cross you know what I mean, cross-reference with another field trainer because they may be training you a certain way. Some of us train differently than others. And like Sherranda does things I don't do and vice versa. And when she's working with somebody, I try to let her do it her way because she has her process, if that makes sense.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you for the share.
Absolutely. You got it. Mr. Arjun, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself, brother. I know you had a testimonial last week and we didn't get a chance to hear from you. So if you can go ahead and unmute and give us your testimonial and tell us who you are, what your background is, and then we'll speak a little bit on your testimonial when you finish up, brother.
Thank you very much. I apologize. I came in late, technical issues, and I had other drivers calling me at the end time when they need help. But my testimonial is basically helping those drivers. Those drivers need us more than ever today. Even with the big group that I have, and it's not just having a big group, is to maintain them. That's the key right there. You have to maintain the group and you have to be available for those drivers and the safety director. Because once the safety director has a faith in you that you're going to come and deliver what you say, that's golden right there. That's what got me going with this group, because now I have the safety in my end. And whenever we talk to the owner now, I see, with this group, I'm working 7 days, folks. I'm not working, Monday through Friday. I'm working 7 days. I'm working Saturday and Sunday because they usually call me. Hey, I have this question. Oh, my driver is this issue. Can you help? And I always, like, last 2 Saturdays, I went to the company and I sat with the safety director there and basically see how they work. What's going on in their life, what are the challenges, what we can do. Not only that, the owners are there, so they see me there in person, so I'm there, so they know that if there's a situation with the drivers, I'm always available. Not only that, what's going on with now is that once the driver gets enrolled, I'm getting drivers telling other drivers about what I do. Drivers will sometimes call me 7 p.m. and says, AJ, I got this citation, and basically I walk them through, again with, hey, you got to call your law firm, you got to call your attorney, call your attorney, get that ticket in. Once you get that ticket in and you get the email from your attorney, let me know. Just give me a text, hey, I got the email. So I make sure that the drivers are taken care of by our law firm, and make sure our services are delivered to them. And so that really creates a referral, not only the drivers within the company, but outside. They will talk to their friends, say, hey, I have this guy, call him. He's going to help you out. Now, when I do my enrollment, and I'm telling you that I have 3 locations that I do the enrollments with. And basically I'm doing enrollment over the phone. So they have all the packets and everything, and I do over the phone enrollments. And like Mr. Lamar said, Mr. Randy said, that those drivers will say, oh, I got to talk to my wife. I have to talk to my partner, and then I will decide. Well, guess what? My safety training guys are already trained by me about them getting this program ahead of time. So when they introduce me, they always say that, guys, this training is our orientation training is part of the process, but the most important part is this, that you have to get LegalShield. You have to have this in your back pocket. So I already got the trainers on my side. So when the drivers are there, they already know, oh, okay, the trainer told me to get it. Period. My trainers will show them a video of a crash on I-5 that I play all the time before I do my orientation. My trainers will say, you don't want to be in that position. And they will flat out tell the drivers that, hey, if you get into an accident, the insurance is going to take care of the damages, but then after that, you're on your own. You're on your own. You got to get your own attorneys. You got to get on your own, your own resources. That way, when I come in, I tell them, hey, I'm your guy. I am the guy when that thing happens or you get a citation. Hey, we're here to deliver. We're here to help you out. there's no question asked where they're going to say, oh, I'm going to talk to my spouse or significant other. My trainers will say, fill out the application, send it into AJ, put the effective date. They already know the deal. They already, they're like, after my presentation, they're like, okay, guys, there's the application, sign up. We need to send it in. And they'll put the effective date in it. And that's it. You got to have, that's my testimonial. I don't want to take much time. It's already 6:30, but this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And we're growing. And my safety, oh boy, my safety is on my side. Even when the owners come in and they're like, hey, AJ is the guy. So the owners now are referring me out to other companies. So that's my testimonial right there. I hope it's valuable to you guys.
All right, no, you got it, brother. I appreciate that. And it's so funny that you mentioned that you're doing it 7 days a week and that you're talking to them every day, because that is one of the caveats that as trainers, a lot of us will explain to people. I had a conversation with a person in the field the other day, and they debated with me on the phone for about 7, 8, 9 minutes about the size of a company that they should be going after. And the reason why we spoke, I was speaking to them about that. I was telling them exactly what you're saying now. If you go after a big company with no experience, one, it's going to be difficult to close them. And second, it's going to take a lot of your time, production time, managing that big company. And if you're new to doing CDLP, you don't want to spend all of your time managing one account. Go after smaller accounts so that you can learn how to handle the issues better when there's only 10, 15, 20 drivers. And then when you get a big company of hundreds of drivers, as they call you with issues, you've dealt with that before with the smaller company. So it's a process. And that's really important that you started by talking about that, because we just all have to understand, like, a big company is a lot of work. Not only going in and doing the enrollment, but keeping up with them, because they are not using the membership at the rate that people use the family plan membership. So that's not to be mistaken. You go and sell 200 memberships to people using the family plan, you're only going to get a few calls. A lot of people are not going to use the plan right away. When you sell 200 plans to CDL drivers, well, you better stop everything on your calendar, because you're going to get phone calls every day from the safety manager, from the drivers, and you have to be prepared to answer the questions. You have to be available to walk them through certain situations. And if you're not available, then you stand to lose that membership. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that, right in the beginning of that talk, so people understand that. Get the practice, learn the process of helping them get through their situation, giving them the information from the law firm, calming them down on the stop, all those things that you're dealing with, so that you're not just, your production doesn't stop managing one account, because that can get really frustrating. So our other trainers on the line, you guys want to throw anything at that? I know you guys may be anxious to mention something based on what Arjun just said.
Yep, I got a couple of questions for AJ. AJ, how many memberships have you sold in this group?
I'm at 200.
And when did you start with this group?
In October.
In
Last
October.
year.
And are you now executive director?
3 months in a row.
Oh my, are you folks hearing this? Now, this is the guy that took the script and read it, right? Huh?
I actually had it on my hands, holding it, and word by word, I was telling the safety director when he was sitting right there.
I was just talking to another person that was on this call on Monday nights, and he says, I have got the script in my car and on my clipboard. And he says, I'm prepared. If I have to read it, I will read it. So that's the attitude we got to have. If you'll just read that, if you don't have it in your brain yet, and if you say it enough, it will go into your brain and then into your heart. And when it makes it into your heart, they will sense it with conviction, and you will sell many accounts. But what you were just talking about, your safety directors are now pushing the program too. And I've had certain safety directors, when a driver says, well, I'm going to take this membership home and get my wife to look it over. And I've heard the safety director say, hey man, can't you make a decision? Your wife will be proud of you if you buy this membership, enroll in the program. And the driver will go ahead and fill out so it's if you got the safety director behind you and he stands up and talks about our program before you do your presentation, and then in the closing, he has got input, it's very effective to have the safety directors on your side. So I just have to clap my hands and say, great job. And, you know, it's good to have a big account. I encourage you to go and open some 50s and 100s. You know, if you get some more smaller accounts, it balances out. You know, if something did go wrong in a big account, you don't want to lose everything in one account. So I have a lot of assorted bases of transportation accounts. Some 20, some 50, some 100, some 500, some 2,000. Okay, so it's good to have some diversity in your account base. But you're doing very well, AJ, and I'm very proud of you.
No, I appreciate all your help, but you know, everything I get from the CDLP call Monday nights, it's a nugget for me, because tomorrow is my orientation. Tuesdays and Thursdays I do my orientation, so I take everything from this call and apply it to that orientation. So, you know, I get a maximum signups.
Yes. And I guess Mr. Randy, he's probably going to ask you, are you selling double memberships out there? Bundles?
I am. It's $48.90 a month, nothing less. You're gonna get the legal plan with your CDLP, because I always tell them it's a disservice for me that, you know, you don't get the family plan. And, you know, I break down the math for them. I know what they're getting paid on their per mile. I know what they're getting paid. I know what their bonuses are, because I talk to the safety guys. I talk to recruiting. By the way, now the recruiters for that company is going to use LegalShield to recruit those drivers that we're providing you guys with a legal plan that will help you with your tickets or any kind of situation you get in, just to recruit and give them an extra benefit besides the health and medical.
Mr. Randy, did I read your mind?
Yeah, that and AJ, the only thing I would like to know is, do you use the 48.90, or do you talk about the commercial driver's plan at 99 cents a day and the legal plan at 63 cents a day?
Now I put it as $1.50 a day. I say it's $1.50. I say,
Okay.
how many of you drivers are using the energy drinks? How many of you drink an energy drink, and how many? An average driver will drink 2 to 3 a day. That's $4. I said, don't drink one. It'll pay for this program. You know? So I break down the math for them and say, hey, it's pretty simple here. You know,
that daily cost makes it where it's not like it's a big monthly cost. It's that daily cost, and compared to a bottle of water or whatever, they're, like you say, the energy drinks and stuff, it starts ringing home that it's not going to cost them a lot to have that.
Exactly.
Good job. Good job.
Any other trainers? Anything before we go? Going once? Going twice?
No.
All right, fantastic. Oh, go ahead, Sherranda. You gonna say something?
No. I said I don't have anything. I mean, he's going well. He knows I know that. We just, yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys, we're gonna be closing out here. So I'm gonna talk to the trainers if they have anything. Just remember, guys, March 22nd, mark your calendar, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. We will have our third annual prospecting trucking companies while using their safety scores webinar. We're gonna have it here on a Monday, so it's no different than any other Monday, except we throw in a half an hour in the front and a half an hour in the back. So instead of 8:30 to 9:30, it's gonna be 8 to 10. 2 hours of solid training with about 5 or 6 different trainers, guys. So we're gonna have an awesome time. So we really appreciate you guys being on. I'm gonna turn it over to the other trainers if they have anything that they want to mention before we close, I know Sherranda has her call and stuff she likes to mention. And don't forget, guys, to subscribe. Please go to YouTube. If you're looking at this stuff on YouTube, go there and subscribe. Don't go there and subscribe, just do it. If you're looking at any of our replays on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. You're not going to get emails from me because you do that. You're not going to get any funny messages. There's nothing hinky about it. It's just supporting the channel. So I'm turning over to Sherranda, Ivey, and you can put you to the other trainers if they have anything to close out with.
I can't get. Just remember we got the Blitz tomorrow, so you want to plug into that. The corporate has the Blitz, so you want to, if you can get on that Blitz, they have training beforehand and afterwards that helps you. But if you want to have some scheduled time to make dials and feel the energy of other people, definitely get on to the Blitz tomorrow, okay? And we have the accountability call on Thursday night. So if you haven't registered and you want to come on, you can just register under announcements, and we will send an email out on Thursday evening. Over to Randy and Lamar. Oh, Dunbar, I will say, TJ had a question about group. Guys, you can open a group with one application. It could be a CDLP plan, and that's considered a group. It may not be a qualified group for the incentives, but it's considered a group. Now, for the incentives, we have 2 running right now, which is a group with $50 worth of premium, and that goes to April 30th. Then we have
frozen?
Excuse me, sir?
I thought you were frozen.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So the group, someone asked about how many applications for a group. So just note that you can open a group with 1 application. It doesn't qualify for an incentive unless it's over $50. So when Lamar says he opened a group and he got 5 applications, he got 5 applications. That group just had 5 people in it. But if he walked in and they had 1 person there and he said, I opened a group with 1 person, he opened a group. So, just know that it only takes 1 app to open a group, but it takes more to make it a qualifying group to qualify for an incentive. Okay? All right. Over to Randy and Lamar.
I'm good.
All right, good stuff.
Hey,
So all
hey,
the
Mr.
trainers are
Robert.
good. Go ahead.
Hey, real quick, on a small business plan, truckers need those small business plans. I've found out they're getting more into collections and lawsuits. Those are their key words. That's what I found out from my end. So I don't know if Sherranda, Ivey, is that true?
That's what, yeah. If they don't have a factoring company, you have to ask that question before though. Do they have a factoring company? A lot of companies have factoring companies, so debt collection. So don't be quick to lead with debt collection because they have factoring companies. But absolutely, accidents is the #1 cause, but they deal with a lot of management issues. So if they don't have factoring, if they have factoring, still can talk about management issues and accidents. So yeah, we've trained on that, and I'm sure we'll train more on it since small biz is the topic for the company these days.
And factoring company, I'm sorry, what is that?
We'll train on that another day. A factoring company is a third-party billing where the carrier doesn't have to worry about getting paid from the broker. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
All right, good stuff, good stuff. Well, we appreciate you guys all for being on. We thank you for giving us your time. I know we went over again like always. 9:45, but you know, good information. Good information, guys. And if you missed anything, just go to YouTube and you'll be able to take a look at the recording that's there, guys. So you guys have a fantastic evening. We look forward to talking to you guys next week. Don't forget, March 22nd, mark your calendar. If you want the accountability call, that's every Thursday with Miss Sherranda Ivey. You can get her on the Facebook page if you have any questions about that, guys. We appreciate you all. And we look forward to talking to you guys all next week. Everybody have a good evening.
You all have a good evening. Thank you for
Thank
your
you. Good night.
leadership.
Great call.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night, everyone.
Y'all have a good evening. Thank you.
See you
Good night.
Thursday.
Thank you.
Good night,
We
everybody.
should- Good night.
We should start.
Night.
We should start this call at 8 o'clock and go to 9:30. 8 o'clock to 9:30.
Yeah,
Sherranda.
we could go for 2 hours, brother.
You just show up late, Tyson. You got here 30 minutes late, Tyson.
No, I didn't. I
I
just
don't want to
switched.
let you in, Tyson. You get
I
here
switched
on time.
instruments. Look it on the computer. I was there at 8:31.
Nah, man, you show.
Ex Robert then. Whoever.